How's it going, everyone? I'm actually here, believe it or not. Let's jump in. Good to see you, good to see you. Thank you all for joining. Hello Electrolab, hello Fusion. Thanks for joining. So, snappy start up tonight. Mostly because my computer's been cooking all day. And so I'm going to take you through what the hell I've been working on. Do a couple of little updates. And just mostly get down and do some random stuff. So it's actually going to be pretty cool. We're going to go through a whole bunch of stuff, but it's kind of like a little off script because my main GPU is busy, and I'll show you what it's doing. No secrets. So hello Mr. Sword Steel, thank you for joining. Thank you everybody. All right, so first things first, let's address why we're not looking at Comfy right now. Let me just take you through it. So we're going to do another mini tutorial on Udio, which is a music generator. I'm going to show you some stuff to give you a couple more pointers which I forgot in the first one from the stream before last when we took through that. And it just gives me a bit of practice for the actual video when I come to doing it, because I realized that I missed a few things off of that tutorial. So we're going to take a look at that in a sec. And what I'll do is I'll just play the sound, you know, you'll hear what it is through the mic. It's the most easy way to do it. For some reason I was messing around with like line out, line in, mixer deck, volume control, virtual audio cable. I did all kinds of crazy stuff, and in the end it just makes sense to just play the sound through the speaker near the microphone, because it's not like you have to hear it in amazing quality. So a bit of music generation, that's number one. Number two, I'm going to take you through a big project that I'm working on at the moment, and I am one of those guys who's like, the more practice I get, the better I get at it. And so if I sit on something and try to make it endlessly better and better, I never bring anything out. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start bringing these out. I've got this weird concept which is kind of like a pop-up. It's like a pop-up music video, but it's got a narrative, you know? Because when I want to generate music, it's usually got like a story behind the music. And so what I decided to do was use the same notes to power my prompt generator, which would then make the visuals. So, and we've put together a whole bunch of stuff using LTXV, Tools Video Grid, Tools Reactive Grid. All of these things have been released and are up on the GitHub or in various Civet AI version packs, okay? One of them was the String Painter consistent character workflow that you're looking at right now. So there's a couple of other things that I want to look at as well. A few new things actually. I got access to Grok recently, so I want to chuck my Ace Hollow system in there and just see how it performs. I also want to put a Gradio Web UI on my Shuffle Video Studio tonight. So what I want to do is just pretty much let you have a little look over my shoulder as I complete a couple of tasks this evening. And if you've got any questions for me, don't be afraid to chuck them in the chat. So first of all, thanks again everybody for watching and coming along. And like I said, I'm always here to answer your questions should that be a thing that you'd like. All right, so that's pretty much it. Let's dive in. So we're going to start off obviously with the big announcement, which was that the consistent video variations works for Mochi, LTXV and Hunyan video, right? So that's using my String Painter node. You just inject a hex code to the end of your prompt. Really simple stuff. We've covered this a couple times on previous streams. And like I said, I've included a consistent character variation or consistent video variation folder in my Mochi, LTXV and Hunyuan workflow packs, so you can use that workflow in Comfy and it'll just automatically install this through the Comfy manager. It's actually really simple. You just fix the seed, use the same prompt. You can even get a video that you've previously generated, okay? You can load that in, fix the seed, and then add this to the end of your prompt. So it's super easy to use. You don't have to, you know, it doesn't take over your whole workflow. It's just one node. And like I said, you just let this do the randomize, let this one here, mode random. and every time you generate a video, it'll have a new hex code at the end of your prompt, and it will give you a video variation. Very simple stuff. So that's the first thing I wanted to start off with. Hello, Lewis. Welcome. Or Louis. Welcome. So the first thing I want to do before I dive into the audio is I just want to take you through what's going on with my comfy tonight. So the first thing that we did was we used the Zoda LTXV T2V STG String Painter Lines V150, and that is in the pack. So if we just take a look here, you can see we've still got a huge queue boiling. All right. So what does all that mean? Okay, what does all that mean? Well, LTXV is obviously the name of the model. T2V is text to video. STG is essentially this new perturbed attention, which gives us almost photorealistic generations. And then the string painter, which I'm not actually using because I do have it on randomized seed. Okay, I've got a whole bunch of different prompts, okay, which I've written to illustrate the album which I wrote. So basically I'm making a music videos. So every single track has a theme, the album has a theme, and we've plugged that into my Claude videos. So we'll take a look. We'll start here. It's probably the best place to start. So what I did was I came into Claude and I said I want to make videos to illustrate an album. The album tells an abridged story for a modern Captain Ahab, reframing the story of Moby Dick. Each track is a chapter from that story. So then I've given the track names, okay? So when I was making the tunes, I just had this rough idea in my head. It's all funk, okay? So it's not like classical music or anything like that. And essentially it was like a pirate style ship, whale hunting style, you know, pirates. Well, not really pirates, they're whale hunters, aren't they? So they're out on the ocean in an old boat, and it's again the story of Captain Ahab. Okay, right, so that's pretty much what I've done, and I've asked him to infuse this into my prompts. So obviously I'm using my LTXV video prompt gen for this. And the first time it did it, it was way too modern, right? Sonar readings and stuff like this. So it was way too modern. So I generated all 10 prompts, right? You could definitely do Whalers on the Moon. That's 100%. That's actually very Kojima, and I salute you. But yeah, basically, I've told him to go ahead and make me 10 prompts to establish the theme for each track. Okay, and that's going to go through a story arc, like a narrative story arc, and come out the other end, right? I've decided to use LTXV, even though Mochi or Hunyuan would have been better. I wanted to do a quick turnaround because I knew that it was going to be a big job, and I wanted to see what I could do in a short space of time, right? And I had a couple of ideas that I wanted to sort of run through with this one, right? But ultimately, when I got to the end, I said, looking at these prompts, they're all far too modern or based in science fiction. They need to be grounded in a pirate style or old sea fisherman style with harsh weather and big waves, turbulent storms and open oceans, like dragnet fishing and deep net fishing, but with grizzly men with spear catching whales the old-fashioned way. Spears. See, I've mistyped a lot of stuff here. Old white bearded man against the elements. For the white whale in question, it should be an oversized sea beast of legendary proportions, not a realistic fish that's small and easy to catch. A white-coloured blue whale or sperm whale type, but larger is the goal. It should be ramming the ship Captain Ahab is in, as those boats would be small vessels with no metal ships that should ever be seen. The overall aesthetic should be cruel conditions and open seas. Can you adjust the prompts list one at a time to match this aesthetic? We'll start with the first prompt list and work our way down. So essentially I'm doing a prompt transformation. Welcome Quirkus and DR indeed. So what we've got now is we've got Ahab theme, which is the first track of the album. And then I posted that in Discord a whole bunch of times with a bunch of like memes and whatnot. Because that's part of the process, isn't it? When you've got an idea in your head and you're trying to like get it out, it's sometimes nice to have a vibe. And this is the vibe which I basically decided to center on and focus around, okay? So what we're doing is we're telling a sort of very summarized narrative structure, because it's not supposed to be a movie. It's just a bunch of like, it's almost like a TV show that doesn't exist. And then I've made the score for it in the music genre that I prefer, right? So it's not, like I said, this is an experimental thing which I'm doing. I'm kind of happy with how it's going, but I'll be honest with you, I've already identified ways that I'm going to improve it, but I'm still going to publish it because I think it's kind of like I was saying initially. When you first have an idea, it's very easy to just kind of scrumple up the paper and throw it in the corner and then no one will ever see it. But to be honest, I would rather bring stuff out that didn't quite hit the mark, because that'll motivate me to improve it and make it better next time. I've already had loads of ideas of how I'm going to make new custom nodes that will solve a bunch of problems, either in speeding up the process, because there were a couple of things that were kind of tedious to do repetitively, right? And so I've already had a load of ideas that I'm going to automate this process with, which makes it faster and also means that I can do better next time. And what I'll do is I'll challenge myself by completely changing the genre of, not the music, because I'm happy with the music, I mean the genre of the illustrative stuff. So how I'm using generative video to illustrate the songs. Anyway, so like I said, what we've done is we've gone through each track. So the Legend, the Chase, the White Whale, the Obsessions, the Storm, Shipwrecked, Hunting Dawn, and Second Spear, which is track 9. So, and in this way, like I said, we go through all of these different prompts, and they are optimized for LTXV. But it's very easy to run these through Hunyuan if you just wanted to get better quality. It's just obviously, instead of it taking 10 seconds per prompt, it would take 5 minutes per prompt. So there's quite a big time difference, okay? And like I said, I wanted to go from start to finish, because then I get to learn the most amount as possible from the process. Right, so we've got ourselves our prompt lists, yeah? So the second thing I had to do was, well, obviously set up the prompt list to actually generate the prompts. I think we got a bit of flotsam here from the Shipwrecked section, maybe. And so essentially what it is I'm generating, I think, 4 seconds at 768 by 512, okay? And we're using random seed, and then I'm using the prompt list. So obviously I've taken the prompts which I've gotten out of Claude, saved them as prompt lists, put them into my Zenkai Nodes prompts folder, and then we've queued up a whole bunch of video. So that's already done, all right? That's already done. We're nearly finished, actually, but it probably won't be done tonight. I've still got another 127 left, and it takes 30 seconds to do each one. So I think that, because we're actually doing the audio reactive part now. So like I said, after I've actually generated the video, what I've done is I've then used my big grids, all right? So this is a new grids setup, and instead of using one video for all of them, it's actually using one video per. So what I do is obviously I take every single video that was generated, 1 through 6, and then we put them into a 2x3 grid, okay, just like this. Obviously that's not one of them. That just seems to be the one that always gets loaded whenever I look at this workflow on my computer. I don't know why it's not the last one I actually made with this, but there you go. And as you can see, we're going 3 across the top, 3 across the bottom, and then putting them together, 2 on top of the one on top of the other. I've got a resize which is making sure that that is 1280 by 720. Probably, like I said, if you wanted to like get the correct res, you probably would turn that off, but I'm going to be doing a lot of reducing, so it's fine. One other thing as well was, one time on the live stream I was having a bit of trouble because I wanted to offset the batches, so I didn't want them all playing at the same time. So you can see here, this one here, they're all playing exactly at the same time, okay? Now, I created a custom node called batch offset, and if you put that in between the upload, the loader, and whatever it's going to do next, what you can do is you can send like -1 sends the first frame to the end. Okay, so this will send the first frame to the end of the sequence, and then this will send, it's like the first 6 images will now be at the end. So it's like if you were to imagine that the sequence of images was like a wheel and you wanted to roll it back 6 frames, so that means you can offset the batch. That's why it's called batch offset. And then what that means is that if I show here, I've got -1, -6, -12, -18, -24, -30. What that means is that even though they might all be the same, they would actually play this one, then 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 this one, with an offset of 30 frames total. So it's like you get a cascade effect. Okay, and the reason I did that was because if you tried to offset with the frame load cap, you'd get a mismatch on the number of images in the batch. So what this does is it allows you to offset the play position of the batches without affecting the total length, okay, which obviously causes you a tensor mismatch and it breaks the workflows. So it's just a way of getting a cascade, because like right now all these are playing exactly together. But if I had set it up with this batch offset, which I didn't have at the time, it enables you to stagger them, okay, which is a nice effect when you've got a grid of videos like this. It's a bit more eye-catching to be able to stagger them. Okay, so that's another function. I've used this in a whole bunch of ways, but that was the main reason that I made it for, and then I'm constantly finding new ways to use it. Let's have a look. Lucas says good roadmap. Fusion says, yeah, I went into panic mode when I loaded an image and it loaded previous images in the workflow, thinking I shared previous images. It's in the input folder that it loads from, so it's not shared. Yeah, that's true. I think it's because when I saved this, it's when I saved this workflow, it always defaults to that particular output. If I ever got rid of that output as well, it's going to be fine. So yeah, it's just funny how it's always this this cop dance. Let's call it the cop dance. Yeah. Okay. If you know what it is, then you know it's not a cop dance. But that was using LTXV edit. Okay. So as I say, what I did was I got the results from my prompts for my white whale video. And then what I've done is I've staggered them all, right? So I've staggered all of these. Okay, so this one is last stagger. And then what you end up with is you end up with a nice grid. Okay, and so what I've done is I've gone through every video per chapter. So if you remember back here when I was making these videos, what we've got is we've got a whole bunch of different ones. So what I do is quite simply set the chapter name. So I'll show you. I can't do it right now because it's already running, but say I said Moby Dick chapter 1, and then we go to my trad ahab, because remember I made it more traditional because the first set of prompt lists were modern, too modern. So then what I would do is I would set 20, yeah, and so now this is chapter 1, that's the first prompt list. So then I'd queue that, okay, and then I'd immediately go to chapter 2. I'd go to the chapter 2 prompt list and queue that, and then I'd do that until I got to the end, to the chapter 9, and then obviously this would be at chapter 9, right? And then that would leave me with a buttload of videos. Okay, so if I now have a look over here, what we have is we have the results. So if I've already copied these out of Comfy so they're easy to grab, right? But essentially, if I was to go into the, not that one, the dick list, that would be all my prompts in here. And then if I go into chapter grids, we end up with all these. Okay, they don't have any sound, right? But this is that as big as it gets? That's as big as it gets. So I'm on a 2K monitor right now, and these were resized to 1280 by 720. Okay, so this would be videos for chapter 1. Okay, So at the moment it just looks like a movie that never existed. Do you know what I mean? It's like a B movie that never got actually made. And that's the kind of vibe that I'm going for. So just a bunch of like out of context clips from a movie that no one's ever seen because it's not real. Okay? And some of them are better than others. Look at this. Whoop. I don't know what's going on with that. Okay. So this would be from the first video, right? And then obviously we've got videos like that for every single chapter. Okay. So if I go for the final chapter, we got some pretty cool videos from the white whale. Some of them are a bit weird, but like I said, I wanted to see what it was possible to do in a 24-hour turnaround. Probably less than that actually. But like I said, I know that with curation you can make this better, but the idea wasn't to mess around and, you know, that wasn't the goal. The goal was not perfection. The goal was, what can we actually do? So I've got an idea. I want to illustrate these songs that I've just made, which have a kind of Moby Dick theme, right? And so my idea was basically just to see what we can get away with, right? And some of them look really good, some of them look less good, but like I said, I'm really happy with the results. So anyway, I wasn't done. Okay, so obviously now we've made our grid, right? The grid is just the first part. You've seen what I do with this sort of stuff, right? So this is what it's currently chugging away at. So we got a little bit, it's doing 1 second at a time. And I'll just take you through what it actually does, because I have already released this workflow. You'll find it up on the DJZ workflows. It's not in the folder you're seeing on the screen right now. It's in the usual folder you would expect it to be in. So reactive grid, speed, bloom, smooth, V88. It's already out. And it works exactly the same as the other ones. So you have your project name here, which is the subfolder it's going to organize everything into. You have the audio loader for the track. So obviously I'm on the last track here. I've already got them all queued up. There were like 700 in the queue earlier today. And then what I do is I load in the grid itself. Now there was something I did do in Premiere, and that was basically with the grids themselves, right? I've joined them myself separately. I haven't done that in Comfy. All right. Now you could do it in Comfy. It wouldn't have been difficult to do because they're only actually 23 seconds long each. So that's not very long at all. But I think I made a mistake. I had originally joined them in Comfy, and I made a mistake because I accidentally set this to loop 3 times. And I didn't turn that off. And so when I made all of these grids, I went through all the videos. There's like 40, I think I had 40 videos. And so this is why you remember I was saying earlier, I want to make a custom node now to make this super quick, super easy to do. So I'm going to make a new video load node soon, which is going to be a lot like the one I made last week for the video captioning. So if I go to batch video, load video batch prop frame. So I made this about a week ago, but it only loads 1 frame because we used it for captioning a specific frame. We wanted to pick a specific frame, and we wanted to be able to do index loading. So for example, I can control what it is, and I can put it on an increment so that I can say I can put the path to my video folder here, and then I can just have Q, and it will step through the video. You know what I mean? So, and I've got an idea of how I want to do this, but as I said, this is only making 1 frame, or the frame that I want, because of course this was built for making captioning easy, for captioning video. And so my idea is to make the next version of this essentially have a range. So I could say, instead of a frame, I could say I want 97 frames from 0 to 97, so 4 seconds, okay? Or whatever it is that I want. But the point is that I can then use that instead of this. And then I don't have to actually pick each one. I could use some math and say, listen, I want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I can just have a position that can increment here that will take me to the next. So then it will be 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And I don't have to like manually load every single one in every time. I can just queue it up, and then I can have all of the videos in sequence getting gridded. So that's the plan, and that's going to be coming very soon. And then obviously the upshot of that is, of course, I could then merge these end to end, right? And so because I messed up and had them all looping 3 times, it was like quicker to open Premiere and cut out the first loop and then stack them back together again. It was quicker to do it that way than to rebuild the whole thing and potentially wait on development time for a new node that I haven't even built yet. So I thought, I was sat there going, I was like rolling my eyes like, which is quicker, make the new node and start again, or just cut it out the traditional way? And in the end, I just cut it out the traditional way. But essentially what that ends up with is it ends up with these, and I probably didn't let them play for long enough. So if you watch this play, you'll notice that it's going to go to the next one, right? And then when it's going to go to the next one, and it's all one cut. So this is like the original for chapter 4, which is white whale footage. I love this sort of, it's got a sort of Lovecraftian-esque like B-grade, like B-movie puppet monsters, you know what I mean? Like there's no consistency here. Even though I could have done that, I thought it would be more fun to just, you know, just do as much random stuff as we could get out of the model. Because again, LTXV is a research model. It's not really got the depth to handle a lot of the prompts which I was throwing at it. Look at that though, isn't that cool? Look at that thing, that's so cursed. And this, that was one of my favorites. Where's the other one? Is he in here? This weird tail. This is all so cool. And again, it gave me ideas for like, yeah, definitely. In fact, I've missed some comments. Let's see here. Profi Prompter says incredible. Electrolab says looks very nice, like a character sheet for video. And Lucas says more like a leviathan than a whale. And yeah, you're right. You're 100%. See, this is the funny thing. I made the music first and then made the prompts second. And then I've used this high-speed video model. That one looks really cool. That one that's gone now. Wait, go back. Yeah, that one there. I want to do a shark video next. I think a shark video would be so cool. Just have a shark just on the rampage. So cool. And sometimes it's more like a squid or an octopus, and other times it's like a sperm whale. Sometimes it's like a big old fish. It's just all over the place, really. Sometimes it's like a mollusk. Anyway, the point is I had a lot of fun messing around with this. So that's what I'm going to use to illustrate each track. But we ain't even nearly halfway done, guys, because my whole point is to try and experiment with the full start to finish workflow, right? So there's a couple of things that went into it. There was the LTXV video generation workflow. Then there's the video grid 2x3 with different videos this time, not the same video, all different videos. And then there's the next one which we're going to look at, which is the reactive grid. So I've used Speed and Bloom from Ryan on the Inside's Flex pipeline, and we were looking at that in the last live stream on Sunday. So now I've explained how I did this and what the batch offset's for. Now what we're going to, oh, look at this. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Anyway, just getting down. So we go into this one. Oh! Please, baby, don't hurt me. Baby, don't hurt me. I must have messed up some of the cues. It's gotten over it, I think. It's probably going to spit more errors out. Wait for it. I think what I did was I accidentally queued up some videos beyond their length. So basically you have to do a little bit of maths. Obviously, if you have like a 23-second video and you go over 23 seconds, there's no more video left. Okay. So I think that's what we just saw, that error. That's what that was. I basically queued up a bunch of videos and I forgot to set that back to 0. Okay, so that's what that error is, if you ever see that error. But as you can see, it didn't break the queue. It's just moved on to the next section. All right. So now we can talk about the reactive grid, which is, like I said, this is a new adaptation of a feature we built on Sunday. Essentially, what you do is you change the track that you want, you change the video that you want, you set them both to 0, and then depending on how long the video is, every 23 seconds I would have to reset that back to 0 again. Okay, so the first thing it does, again, what I've got here is I've got another use for the batch offset. So if I ever wanted to make it a little bit more skippy, I turned it off in the end because I thought it was a bit too distracting. But what it does is it means that when you make the big grid, the grids are offset. Okay, now right now they're all synced up, and so what we've done is we've taken the video in seconds. So it's doing 1 second each, which enables it to do pretty big video, and it keeps the music all in sync, you see. So we're playing it back at 24 frames per second, and we're doing 1 second of audio at a time for 24 frames. So that means 1 second at a time. And obviously when you queue it up, obviously the next section will start 1 second forward on the video and 1 second forward on the, so then when you put it all together, the music's all in sync and you can do as long as you want. I think what I did was I decided to stop it at like 90 seconds because I didn't really want to go too crazy. But yeah, essentially. All right. Now we haven't done any syncing at this point. I'm just giving a preview with audio. And I think I messed up there. This is one of the reasons why I needed to automate it, because there shouldn't be the same clip twice. Anyway. And that's again another reason to automate, because if you have code doing it, you're less likely to click the wrong button over 100 clicks. You know what I mean? You're always going to make a mistake. But anyway, what I've done is I've limited it to 1920 by 1080, which is my target video resolution. And if I keep going, so we've done, obviously, if you've seen any of the audio reactive workflows, you will have known what these bits do, but they're essentially going to animate the video to the music which is being played during the section. We've also got the feature mod smoothing, which was recommended during the live stream on Sunday, and it does make a big difference. I turned off the chromatic aberration and the glitch because I wanted to keep it cinematic. So what we've done is we've used video speed. So what it's doing is it's speeding up and slowing down the video according to the RMS. So we've got RMS energy being the driver, and here's the smoothing frequency for anyone that's interested. But essentially what that means is that as the beat sort of comes in and out, oh, and also bloom as well, right? So then what we end up with is this. Obviously it's doing 1 second at a time, and my plan is essentially to chain all of this together, crossfade the tracks into each other once we join. So you join all the tracks, crossfade the tracks into each other, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put like a film grain over the whole thing, and then probably like some kind of like not black bars. Black bars is the wrong word, but kind of like an effect, so that I want to draw attention to the middle of the screen, right? So that's the plan. So, but I think you can see that the brightness is sort of, you know, the bloom is, you know, the bloom is being manipulated by the beat, and yeah, I think it's going to work. And like I said, I got 77 frames left, so we're going to look at other things while it's cooking up this queue for us. Okay, so what else have I got? What else have I missed? Some look like a fish made of salt. Very interesting, says Electrolab. Fusion says, that looks cool. Lucas says, white shark versus white whale. Thonks. Fusion developer has a big red heart. And then Pirate GFX Productions. Anyone else play with LTX Studio? It's cool. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to play with their online stuff yet, but I would imagine that it's probably going to be their full model. Because I would imagine that what they would do is they would sort of, you know, let people play around with their full model on their website before they release the weights. A little bit like every other AI model. That seems to be a good strategy, right? But I don't know. I mean, you can tell me, is it the same as LTX, or do you think it's a better developed model? Does it have the same capability in terms of the depth? Just let us know in the comments if you've noticed any difference in quality or ability with the LTX Studio versus, you know, the version that we've currently got to mess around with. Right. So that is what's cooking. And like I said, it's a big old project. It has taken me all day because I had to make the tracks first, which probably took me a day or near enough. And then I spent the rest of that day making prompts and generating the videos. And then once I generated the videos, I put them through this process. And then there's a final edit. So I do think it's a 24-hour turnaround to make this kind of narrative-based music video album thing. But I wanted it to be a little bit more photorealistic, because obviously it's easy to just make a bunch of, like, you know, audio-visual, swirly, sparkly effect type stuff, right? That would have been a lot easier to do, because it doesn't really have a connection to a narrative. And I kind of wanted to do like a pseudo B-movie at the same time, because it's sort of like, it's kind of like making a film, but I was able to get away with having no lines. Almost like a silent movie that's just the sort of music you're listening to right now on stream. It's just random funk tunes, you know what I mean? And we'll see how it comes out. But it's given me so many ideas regarding like B-movie horror genre, where you've just got like a random masked killer chasing people down who are just running away, or, you know, your Aliens movie where the same thing, or, you know, like I said, there's certain genres which I think could be easily generated quickly and then put to a song. You don't have to do a whole album. I think I probably went a bit overkill there, but I thought, well, why not? You know what I mean? I could do a track for each chapter of a book, and then animate the video for that album. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes I try to push the boat out, for lack of a better pun. So there it is, the white whale. And like I said, let's see, some of them came out better than others, but I like to do it without cherry picking on the first run, because I know that that's like easy room for improvement when you come to do it a second time. Like I said, like you could do Jaws. You could make like a Jaws themed track, and then you could AI generate a bunch of like Jaws themed, and it's not, I haven't used any copyright material here, it's just themes, you know what I mean? Themes and aesthetics. There we go, look, it's gotten to the last video now. I recognize that as the first section of Second Spear, because he's got a bunch of blubber. That looks like a giant sea dog. Alright, so we're going to leave this now and let it chug away, because he's got another 68, so that's like at least half an hour, maybe 40 minutes until this finishes. So we might even get a chance to see some of the last bits on live stream tonight. We'll see if we've got time. But let's take a look at some of the other stuff. So before we move on, I will quickly check the comments. Pirate GFX has come back and said they use Flux for image generation, not sure which model for video motion though. So far it could generate more motion, but it's pretty good. Still a bit iffy on graphics, but not bad. Interesting. They're using Flux for image generation. I think they've got to be using LTX-V, their own video model. It's got to be. The way to know for sure is that the generations will be very, very fast. It takes about 8 seconds to make 2 seconds with LTX. So if you're doing video generation and it's almost instant, the results that you're getting, I mean, and if they look anything similar to what I'm showing here, look at that. I'm thinking that's going to look really nice once you got the funk tunes behind it. All right. Okay, so let's give us the rundown. So what I've got here is I've got some new funk stuff, and I've got a new little trick which I've been working on, which is what I use to make this particular album here. And so what we're going to do is we're going to run through that, the settings that I've used. It's going to be a little bit quicker than the first time I run through Udio tutorial, so you can thank me for that. But I got some extra cool tips which will help you make even better tunes, mostly because I actually skimmed over something important last time. Okay, right. So the first thing you're going to do is, obviously, I'm going to take this here as a copy because I just want to start fresh. All right. I've got all these tunes I haven't even listened to. It's almost criminal, right? But it's fine. I want to show you what it looks like from scratch. So let's just refresh the page. Something I would never normally do. I'd be like, no, but I know what all the settings are off the top of my head now. I've done this so many times. So there's a whole bunch of ways you can use this. You can use it with lyrics, you can use it auto-generated lyrics, you can AI generate your lyrics with a Claude or a ChatGPT. You can even upload audio to start off your tune with a specific thing that you want to say, or some kind of, like, you could have a guitar here and you could play a riff, and then you could type guitar and have it complete the song. There's all kinds of stuff you can do. We're not going to do any of that. We're just going to deal with the actual generation, raw generation. Okay, so I'm going to go instrumental mode. I did promise that I would do a tutorial on the old funk, so that means we're going to do something with tricks. So I want to do fast funk. I know that you have to kind of just type stuff in and see what it can do. So you have the benefit of me having already done that, right? So Memphis is a tag which obviously is from rap, but there's a lot of Memphis rap samples in funk. Okay, so and also I'm doing a bit of a trick here, like detail. I want it to make funk, so I've got funk 3 times. So instead of typing fast Memphis funk, fast Memphis drift funk, I've typed fast funk, Memphis funk, drift funk. Okay, now the fun thing is, this is something which is like one of my little tips. I gave you this tip last time we did the tutorial. Last time I told you to do Rassane folk, and it's a deliberate misspelling to confuse the tokenizer. And the reason you do this is to draw a more interesting vector through the memory of the AI model. It's basically because sometimes getting it wrong leads to happy accidents. And something which I was having fun with recently was Chicago. So let me just show you. Chicago. Yeah, Chicago, right? So I might have typed Chicago funk here instead of Memphis, right? Chicago. Because it's not Chicago, it's Chicago. Now you might think, well, why the hell is it? But it works, okay? Misspelling stuff works. So I encourage you to misspell a location or subgenres, because sometimes that can lead to a happy accident that makes your generation more unique, less generic, okay? It might even blend better when you take 2 different genres and mix them together. So what we're going to be doing, I'm going to put it back to Memphis for now, because I'm happy with Memphis. But the other thing I've recently started doing, I already told you the Rassane trick, which is essentially just swapping around Russian, yeah? So the Rassane folk. So, but what I've actually changed is to Rassassin folk, like that, okay? And last time I was telling you guys, just do 3 genres at a time. But because I've done a lot of testing with these ones, I know that I can get away with a 4th genre, okay? So, now then, if I now want to go to advanced controls, I want to make sure I've got manual mode, because otherwise what it's going to do is it's going to rewrite my prompt, okay? So it would have ignored all of my fancy tricks if I hadn't put it in manual mode. So I'm so glad that they haven't taken it away from us. Okay. All right. So I want to interface directly with the model because then I can have fun with this. Yeah. And you can see, look, it's trying to autofill Drift Funk. So that means it is aware of what that is. It's not like completely unknown to it. If I type here, yeah, it's trying to... Yeah, see, it doesn't know what Rassassin folk is, though. You see what I'm saying? All right, so let's move on to the other things that you could have in this, okay? So 130 is their new model. It's not that new now, but 2 minutes and 10 seconds is what we're going to get out of a generation, which is a bloody amazing place to start, because it used to be 32 seconds and you had to, like, chop them all together yourself. So we're going to now go through some of the rest of them, all right? Now, I like to have it at about 60% prompt strength, and because I'm working with instrumental, I'm going to take this down to like 15 or 20%. We'll go with 15% on this one for lyrics strength, okay? For clarity, you can leave that alone. For seed, I recommend leaving it on -1 because it's just going to give us a random seed. And then for the generation quality, this is so fast, I always put it on ultra out the gate. Okay, it does say it's slower, but you'll barely even notice. Okay, you'll barely notice because it is very fast. All right, and that's pretty much everything you have to do. Now, when you click create, what it's going to do is it's going to give us 2 tracks. All right. Wondering what a hex code will do in Udio? Hey, it's a good idea. Shall we give? Well, the only way to find out though is we would have to set a prompt. So let's do it. Let's try something memorable, which like the previous Bitcoin all-time high, 69,420. So we're going to put that one as a fixed seed, okay? And then I'm going to put I'm going to put one in. So A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4. Why not? Okay, we'll say create, and then I'm going to flip the hex around. So 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B, C, D. So we literally do the opposite way around. Simple stuff. And hopefully we'll be able to remember that these are 69,420 on the seed, and we flip the hex code at the end. So that's a good question. So let me see if I missed any other cool comments, because that was a good one. Pirate GFX says that the scripting, storyboard and editing UI, this is on LTX Studio, is interesting to play with. Fusion Zachariah says it can be interesting to type random letters as an entire prompt, but it doesn't seem to generate the best images. No, it doesn't. The funny thing about the string painter is that it was an automated way of chaotically in-painting an already good image. So back in the day when hands were bad and everything was quite iffy, the ability to just change the hex code at the end with a fixed seed, it would return more or less the same image, but sometimes the hands would be good and the face would be bad, and then the face would be good and then the hands would be bad. And so what we used to do is we would take both images and we'd do Photoshop masking and paint out the bits we didn't want. And so then what you'd end up with is a montage of random in-painted layers, which would end up with a much more improved image with a little bit of effort. And obviously you could use Krita, you could use Photoshop, you could use anything that supported layers and masking, because obviously every image was more or less the same. And back in the early days of synth art, this was a cheap and easy way to just generate 10 images with random strings at the end. And because they were on the same seed, you would almost certainly get the same image, just slightly different in a chaotic and unpredictable way. Obviously, there are much better ways of doing this now. We didn't have ControlNet back then. So anyway, let's get back to what we were doing. So I'm not going to mess with clip timing or lyric timing right now, mostly because we're on instrumental, but the clip timing is actually going to be one of the bigger tips in this tutorial. So style reduction I did cover last time, so this would be like your negative prompt. You pretty much don't need to touch this, okay? But essentially, if you don't want rap, you would type rap. I don't want rap metal in my generations, and then when I click create, it'll exclude that from my Wonder prompt, okay? All right, so that's something I missed out there. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the first song that we get here. So I'm just going to stop the music on the stream real quick so you've got half a chance of hearing what we've just generated. Ah, I'm naked. All right. That doesn't sound good. But we've got to hear the drop though. That's funky. It's all over the place and it's like distended beats, but that's actually funky. Huh. You see how it actually didn't come out that bad? It's got a real weird... That's got a real weird vibe to it, man. It's like somebody's leaning on the vinyl and it's kind of messed up the playhead. I like it. Do you know what the weird thing is? I don't think I could have generated that. Well, I say that. I don't think I could have made that in FL Studio without a lot of like timbre and effort. It's all over the place. It's kind of funky. Okay, so that's pretty awesome actually, but we're going to move on because these aren't even string painted. I want to show what they sound like in a sec. So let's hear what the other alt is. You get 2. Oh damn. It hasn't even dropped yet. I'm loving it. It's totally broken. It's like someone broke the valves. Yeah. It's like somebody has low batteries in the tape player. Damn. Oh man, it's like dirty as hell. I love it. Do you know what? This is what I'm talking about with the happy accidents, guys. You just, whew, wow, just like totally scuffed, lo-fi, everything. That's good. Okay, right. So let's just compare, because remember, these two here came off this. Well, all these 4 came off the same seed. These 4 came off of A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4, and these 2 came off of 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B, C, D. So it's going to be really interesting because the only difference between these pairs, because you always get pairs, is the string. So let's check it out. And it could be a total disaster. Okay. It's not bad, though. It's like crazy piano obsessed. But I like the bass line. Okay. And the thing about this is you've got to listen to the whole track in total, because the funny thing is, like, I'll try skipping through this real quick. You got to hear whether it actually finishes and stuff. And I got some tips on that too. But let's listen to the next one. Oof. Oh, that's dirty again. And I love the fact that the words don't mean anything. The lyrics mean nothing. There's no words. It's just... It's brilliant. Oh. That's kind of sick, though. So these are both off of the A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a hella beat. Man, there's so much you could do with this as well, because you could take this into FL and like bust your keyboard out. We're not doing that tonight because that's a whole other stream. But this is actually sick. Damn, that's actually really good. All right, so now let's check out the reversed string. Okay, the reversed hex. Whoa, 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 whoa! What just happened? Whoa, 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 whoa! What just happened? Hang on a minute. What just happened? These are off the same seed, but the string's reversed. Wait a minute. I'm going back to the first pair. So that's how the first track started, okay? And then the second track of the first pair starts like this. And then the first track is exactly the same. Hang on. But that's not the same. Something's going on here. The string paint had an effect, but I don't know what. We're going to have to listen to this more of this track. For science. It's got that same dirty bass line. Same rapper, if you would call it that. Very horrorcore type vibe. Is that the same or is that different? It feels different. Don't tell me that you can get audio variations using string paint. That would be insane. Right, there's only one way to find out, guys. I gotta find out. I gotta download both of them. We'll just get the MP3s. Download the MP3 and then we'll get the other one. Don't worry about the fact they've got the same name. That could be misleading. I have made so many tracks that almost all of them come out with the same name. Yeah, exactly. They can't disappoint you. The fake words that don't mean anything. They can't disappoint you by saying whack lyrics. Right, let's just go to the Audacity real quick. The Audacity to generate fake pulsating beats. So, what do you mean quit? No, discard. Yes, discard and permanently delete. Get rid of that. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to load Rhythm of the Streets. And then... oh, wait a minute. I forgot which one I picked. Let's... it's a short memory span. Look. There. So... okay. They look identical to me. But there's one way to find out. Where's my difference pass? Subtract. It's in here somewhere. I know it is. I've just got to find it. Repeat, reverse, invert. Where is it? Where's subtract? I know it's in here. I was doing this to prove the difference. The ending is different. Yeah, it does. I just want to see exact. I want to get an exact difference. Hang on. I'm just going to look this up because it's been a while. Audacity, compare two tracks, difference. It's not typing. Love it. Love it. Thank you, Google. Audacity, compare tracks, difference. I've forgotten. Look at the waveforms. No. Here we go. See, I've already been here. Import them both, apply invert to one of them, select both, and then mix and render. That's what I was missing. Right, so we'll go like, we'll do that, and then we'll go invert, and then we'll select both of them, and then we do mix and render. Mix and render. Where's that? Mix and render. Wait, but doesn't that mean they're the same? Hang on. Ah, if the tracks are identical, the result will be silence. So no, they're not the same. They're not the same. Unless I'm a nipple and messed it up, which is possible. I just want to make sure that I'm not doing something silly. File, import one. File, import the other. Effect, invert one of them. You never told us if you were planning on suing anyone. Okay. Right. Right. Okay, so let's undo. Okay, so how about this? Yeah, they're totally different. Right, let's just, for the sake of argument, right, I'll invert the other one, select them both, and do the mix thing again. Come on, where is that thing? Where's the thing gone? Track, mix and render. It sounds like it sounds all over the place now. So yeah, I would say, and in fact, do you know what? There is actually a way to like double dumb myself here. So if I put that track there and then put that track there and then delete this one, and then so these are identical, right? So if I then invert that, take them off mute, select both, do the mixer thing again, mix and render. See, I'm not crazy. So I've got two. I put the same track in twice, did the invert and mix down, and boom, you get silence because they, two of the same are the same. So it worked. It worked. The only thing that's different between those two tracks is the string paint. So that means you can get variations by using a hex code at the end of your prompt. Interesting. That's another win for the old string painting technique. Because you can do this for anything which is prompt based, that they actually give you direct access to the model. Obviously, this manual mode is a good example of how sometimes they transform your prompt, right? And obviously a thing that they would do would be to get rid of stuff like that, because obviously, like, why the hell would you type random nonsense? But it does have a function. The only interesting thing is that with this particular system, you do get pairs, and they are different, which means there must be something else going on. Now, I don't know if these two are the ones that have the same seed, and these two are actually before and after it. Do you know what I mean? I don't know for sure. Probably the way that you would find out would be to open it up, and then go to create copy seed. And then if we get a thing open on the screen, I might be able to just, oh, well, hang on a minute, I don't need to do that, I can just type it here. So 69420 is the seed there, and that one sounds like this. Yeah, there is something else going on. All right, let's get back to testing it anyway, because it's so dirty. All right, back. So these two are the same track, but they only differ because of the seed. Now, we kind of went completely off into the craziness there, okay, which does happen. But what I want to do is I just want to finish off this tutorial for you guys. So the first thing I wanted to talk to you about, which I skimmed over last time, if we take one of these tracks, so we're going to click extend, okay? Now, I want an intro, all right? So first of all, you'll notice it says clip start right there. Clip start 0 because it's the intro. If I say I want before, it's at 40. If I say I want a section after, it's at 40. And if I say I want an outro, it puts it to 90, okay? Now, this is important because obviously it's only 2 minutes and 11 seconds long right now. So I need to have an idea in my head of how long I want this track to actually be. And this percentage is essentially like a latent space position of the imaginary track that does not yet exist. But it will use the same information to try and extend it either before, after, or end the track, or give me a random intro. Now, I find that the intro can sometimes affect the attention window. So what I tend to do is I tend to go with either a before or I just chain after sections. Because once you get over a certain limit, I think it's like 2.5, 3 minutes, you can put an intro in and it won't affect the rest of the song. But if you do it early, sometimes you can introduce elements which will come in later because they're in the attention window. All right. So it's just something to bear in mind. You've got control over that. But the thing I want to talk to you about is this extremely helpful bar, because it basically means you could make a track that's 10 minutes long. You can make a track that's 3 minutes long. It's completely up to you. So I'm going to go for about 4 minutes on this one. In fact, just to keep it, well, I'll show you. So 30 seconds for the intro, 30 seconds for the outro. That takes us up to 3 minutes. So that means that if I go for add section right now, if I just go add section and extend, okay, and then when these come through, it's very important. You don't just immediately go to extend these. You've got to actually listen to them first, right? But what we're going to do is we're going to hit extend on the one that we like the sound of. So what I do is I play the song and I go to the last 30 seconds or so. So obviously the slider is going to change, you know what I mean? So that would be the last 30 seconds. So I would listen to the last 30 seconds of the extension. We should have already listened to the whole song. Otherwise, why am I even working with this, right? You got to listen to the whole thing. And then what we're going to do, and that's another important point actually. When you want to work, say I want to work with this song, right? If I hit the crop and extend button, I just want to explain how that works real quick. So what I can do is I can chop off the front here like this. So say it starts like, that's where it's going to start from. So if I was putting an intro and I don't like this, say I don't like this bit, I want my intro to start here, yeah? So I'm going to drag this to there, and then my intro will go in before the point where I cropped it. So it's going to keep the bit inside the crop, right? Don't get that the wrong way round. And also, say I want it to end before the fade out. So it'll keep the fade out. Now I might want to keep that fade out actually, but let's say I don't. So I'm going to have it track end there, or if I want to be on the safe side there. It's really good at doing the join. There. So when I now do add section after, okay, you probably want it like this if you don't want to chop the front off. But the point I'm trying to make is that it's going to add the section after the cropping point, okay? So obviously if I just did it like this, it would have done the fade out and then done the extension, which is, you know, maybe you wanted that fade out before it extended it. It's an artistic choice. It's up to you. But the point I'm trying to make is maybe you didn't want that, right? So I'll show you because I already did it. So if we go to back, if we play this song and go to the 1 minute 10, 2 minute 10 mark, it'll fade out. Wait for it. So it's faded out to 2:10. And then it starts up the tune again. So it's not the end of the world if you do that. But I'm just saying, like, maybe you didn't want it to do that. So then what we'd have to do is we would have to go back to that tune. So we go back to this tune again, right? In fact, no, it's good. So we go back to this, hit extend again, hit the crop. I'm going to take it back because I don't want the fade out, right? And then we're just going to do it again, basically. But let's say I want to move the progression of the song along because I'm like, oh man, 40 seconds, it's not really done anything. So then I'd move it up to like, I don't know, 45 or 50%. And essentially that's going to mean that the section is going to have moved on a little bit in the progression of this song. Okay. And so what I'm going to do is I'm essentially going to do an extension, and then the next extension I'll do at like 55%. Okay. So when I'll listen to the two, and the one that I like, obviously if you don't like it, you just make another one. It might be that both of these suck. And so then of course you're going to take it from the original and make another two until you get ones that you do like the sound of. Once you've got that, we're going to do extension, and then like I said, once I'm happy, I'm about to be like, oh, I'll do the outro now. That's when I would put the intro at the beginning, because you might take a whole bunch of rolls over the intro, because intros can have all kinds of different features. So right. Okay. So let's go to the end. So that's the 2:10 mark. Oh, in fact, we chopped a bit off, didn't we? Get to the end. Interesting gunshot there. It sounded a bit more like an underwater gunshot. Oof. Some weird stuff going on there. It's not bad, but I think I prefer the first one. I'll let it play out. Yeah, the first one was better. It had that underwater gunshot. I like the sound of that. So I'll go for extend. I'll go for another. And then add section. And again, I'm probably going to put it up to 55. Go for the extend again. It's going to give me 2 more. I'm going to wait for them to cook. And then whichever one I like the sound of, I'll do the outro. Because I want this to be quite a short song. Okay. And then the last thing I'll do is I'll work on the intro. Because like I said, sometimes I'll go through a whole bunch of different intros. Because intros can be really random. It's going to be like people mumbling. Sometimes it'll be like a radio jingle. Sometimes it'll be like a crossfade as it brings the volume up. Sometimes it'll be a completely different type of music, like it's coming out of a different track. Intros can be very chaotic, and sometimes that's what you want. But other times, like I said, it tends to be that of the two, one of them is more faithful to the original and the other one has a bit more variation. But it's not always that. So I think that you've always got to listen to the bit you've just added on, because it's bad when you get to the end of making a track and then you go, oh, I didn't hear that one thing, which kind of spoils it for you sometimes. So if I just focus on the bit that's been added, so that's going to be, like I said, every time we extend, it's going to be 30 seconds. So you can pretty much just jump to the point where, so I can see here, look, the last track length was 2:36. So that means that 2:36 is where the new music is coming in. It's got that Memphis rap sample, but it's not actually Memphis rap. It's just words. Ah, here we go. This is a good example. Look, it's drifted into a completely different instrument. But I think it would get away with that, but it might not be something that you want. So again, sometimes it's like happy accidents again. Do you really want that? If you don't want that, check the other one. And again, to save time, we'll go to the point where it's 2:36. Here. Is it going to do the weird instrument again? Oh, well, cool. We got like a radio effect. See? It did something different this time. And I kind of dig that more. I think that one was more fun. So wait, let it get to the end though, so you don't get scuffed by the randomness. Okay, I like that. I've also got it on repeat 1, so it won't go to the next track. It'll just start this one again, which is kind of breaks the flow sometimes when you're trying to listen to a track. So I'm going to click extend on that. I'm happy with that. I'm going to go straight to the outro so we don't spend hours just on one track. Now, sometimes the outro is going to be like... sometimes the outro is going to be like a fade out. Sometimes it's just going to abruptly stop. And other times it's going to refuse to stop and just keep going. And this is why it's important to listen to the outro in full and hear that it has actually finished and you do actually like the outro. And if it has, we'll do the intro and then we're done. And you should notice that we pretty much end at 4 minutes and 10 seconds because that's what I was aiming for. I wanted to make sure, you know, because that's the thing, you've got to have a rough idea in your head of what you want. With all the chaos that's introduced and all the randomness, you've got to have at least a rough idea of what you want. So just having a target length for the track in your head is enough to stop you from making 11-minute long songs because you're like, yeah, I really like this. Sometimes you can like hear a song too many times and it'll sound great, and then the next day you'll wake up and go, oh man, Why did I make this 11 minutes long? It happens. Something to do with hearing the same thing over and over. Okay. So 309, that's where we're at. This would be the outro. Okay, and then what's the other one sound like? Sounds like we're making a song out of the put your seatbelt on sound. Or you left the door open sound. I mean, I don't know. I think that this was a bit more normal. And this is a bit more sample heavy. There's a weird resonance on that one. So it's like if you wanted something like a clean outro, I'd go with the first one. And if you wanted to like keep it funky, you could go with the second one. Of course, you can always just generate another outro. There's nothing to stop you. It's pretty cheap as well. I've never run out of credits inside a month, and I've used it extensively. I think what I'll do is just to keep it clean, because there's a weird resonance going on with this on the sample. I'm going to go with this one, the first one, which is kind of more boring, but it's supposed to be an outro. I'm not like trying to lead into more track. So if I was going to extend it, I probably would have used that. But anyway, we'll go for the intro last. Like I say, sometimes it's like a creative choice. You can do the intro first. But again, when you've only got 2 minutes and you do an intro which has a lot of character, sometimes that can actually leak into the attention for later sections, which you might want. I didn't want that for this tutorial, but again, it's a creative choice, so just keep that in mind. The biggest takeaway from this, I hope, is that when you're doing sections, so for example, right, this is going to end at 4:10, right? Let's say I wanted to get a bit more out of this song, even though I've completed the middle and the end. I could use add section, and then I could take it down to like 30%. So then when I generate a section, it's going to go at the front. So I can generate going backwards as well as forwards. I'm not going to do that right now. I'm just going to do an intro so I can show you that section. But again, it is an option. And I just wanted to really nail down what this actually does and how you can use it. So again, add section, 30% to start. And you can go back as far, you can go 20%, you can go 15%, you can do all kinds of stuff, but we're just going to do intro, which is always 0. Okay. And I do recommend using text-to-speech and starting your track with an upload. So you can, when we first started this track, we could have started it with an upload, and we could have used a very short sample that we created ourselves, or some lyrics that we've recorded ourselves, and then we've put it through text-to-speech or through a voice transformer. Okay, that usually comes out really nice. I made like a hard style track recently, which started with "Do you make your bed in the morning?" and it came out real nice. And that wasn't Jordan Lee Peterson. It was a friend of mine doing an impression. So, you know, there's a lot you can do which you never could do before, by combining all of these different creative tools to get something unique at the end. All right. So think about that. All right. So let's see, how are we doing? Ah, yes. Let's check out the intro. kind of crept up on us. The drop will come in at 30 seconds, or thereabouts. Haha, did you see the little trick it did to make it fit there? It did a little bit of a ha. Alright, let's hear the other one. It's not bad. It's not bad. I still think the first one was better. This is why I end up doing re-rolls on the intro. Because it's like, you end up going, which one do I like? And it's so subjective. Which one do I like? This one, that one. I kind of like this one though. It snuck up on us. And then did a little, did a. The other one was kind of like a bootleg radio station. This is actually the cleanest one so far. Let me just listen to the other one again. You end up spending time like... I like this. This is like a dreamy bootleg radio. And it's just building up the static. The feedback. And yeah, there's a lot of video game music tracks sort of influence in there suddenly. Alright, let's see what these ones are. Distorted radio channel changing. Whoops. Yeah, more, that's just more weird radio stuff. I kind of like this though. It's a cool effect, which only AI does like this. It's the same rising feedback. Yeah, it's definitely, I like this one. This is the cleanest one, I think. For me. This is the one, I think. Let me just check them. Yeah, I'd probably just go with that. Alright. So, the next thing is, how the hell do you stop yourself from losing your track when you finished it? Well, because it's private, no one else is listening to this but you. So, what I tend to do is hit the like button. That's the easiest visual way to be like, oh, there's one that I finished, or there's one I'm going to work more on, right? So it's an easy way to bookmark without having to do anything else. However, there's more. So we could click on this, and we could go edit song details, and we could give it a name. So I could give it something like, I don't know, Dirty Funk Banana, something, just anything, right? Anything other than what it already is, because it's all generic names and they'll all have Rhythm of the Streets or something, okay? So that's number one, right? And obviously what we can do is we can refresh the page. The next thing you can do is keep a Word document. So I keep a Word document with my prompts, and then what I'll do is I will click on Dirty Funk Banana, and I'll click on it again, and then there's a URL at the top of the page. So I could copy that. I could come down here. I could do this. I could do this. And I could copy the prompts as well. So like I usually keep them under a header of what the prompt was, because usually if I find a nice prompt, I'll generate more songs with that prompt. And then you can have an album then, because they'll all have a similar feel to them. Just remember that there's more you can do. So I could say create, and I could copy prompt, I could copy seed, or I could copy track settings. This is the one you really want, because if you copy track settings, it'll take you to making a whole new thing. The only difference is it won't copy the seed. So this is how we can make a variation now, which has got a completely new seed, but the same everything else. And then that, if I click generate here, you won't see it there. You have to go back to creations, but this will be basically like a sibling of Dirty Funk Banana, the track that we just made. Now, don't expect it to be the same, because it most likely won't be. All right. Because obviously it's like a completely different seed, yeah? But again, if you wanted to, and I don't really think it works that well, but here, I'll show you anyway. If I go back to this one and go create copy seed, and then go back, we've already got the rest of the settings here, haven't we? So if I remember, I think it was 69,420. So let's just change that to 69,425. So that's 5 seeds away. Now, as you know, if you do image generation, 5 seeds can actually be quite a distance. So, you know, and then even 421 can be, in fact, let's just do 421, because I just, you know, there's no guarantee. I find having it on -1 is just as effective. I think that if you have a good prompt, that's probably going to help you make things be similar more. So, but anyway, here they are. So this is a random seed with the same everything. It's got a similar aesthetic to it, but it's not the same. Oh, wait a minute. That's not even the right model. It's not even on 130. Damn, that's a bad comparison then. I bet this one isn't on the right one either. Nuts. Alright, well, we'll do that again then. That's a bad test. I had it on the old Udio model, so that's like trying to compare SDXL with 1.5. It's not a fair test. And in fact, these next two are going to be, because I forgot to choose that. See, I got all the same settings, but then I picked the wrong model. So that's on me. Let's see this one. Go back. Yeah, look, you can tell because it's only generated 30 seconds. So yeah, it's not, these last 4 tracks aren't really fair comparisons with what we were doing before. That's unfortunate. We'll have to wait for this one to come through. So let's check the comments. Fusion says the ending is a bit different. The arrow point shape on the version ending. Electrolab says Opacity should have a companion app named Impedance. If you view in Spectral, you can see differences. Fusion Zakrija says, oh yeah, I think you can make it play in difference also somehow. That sounds right. I saw a video about that recently, about hiding secret messages in audio. Are you talking about stenography? Let's see. Fusion, cool. I had a track once that no matter what, when I tried to extend it, it would mess up. Yeah, it does happen sometimes. It does happen. Like I said, you've just got to keep on doing those re-rolls. The prompt can help as well, and the prompt can hurt you too. So, like I said, I've done a lot of generations, guys. I don't even know where you would find out. My biggest problem is I can't find, like if I was to just scroll down, it's going to show me all kinds of stuff on here. Tuck so much. Oh dear, there's some crazy experiments in here. Ahab theme extension, we've already seen those. That's some of the tracks which I'm illustrating tonight. Keep on reading the comments. Pirate says personalize the songs with voice 1 MC Dudeman and voice 2 DJ Voiceless. Yes, you can do. There's a whole lot of stuff, and they've got great documents for messing around with the lyrics and things like that. I generally only work. Oh, mess up number 2. I generally only work with instrumental to try and remove that as a extra variable. So this is going to have lyrics. That's actually pretty close for 1 seed off. Interesting. Uh-oh. Interesting. I think it gone a bit mad because I said auto-generated. What's it doing? Yeah, I think I drove it nuts by accidentally leaving auto-generated lyrics on. Excuse me. So let's go to 45 and keep it on the instrumental. We'll do 2 more, and then that is this section done. But I just wanted to make sure that you guys knew that when you have the extension on, when you have the extension selected, you can... Where's it gone? I broke it. So when you have the extension selected, you can choose the percentage for the section, and in that way you can control at what point of your song you're in. So you could have it be at the early, in the middle, the later section, and then when you're adding your extensions to your track, you're able to actually control that, because otherwise it gets a little bit squirrely. So you just got to remember to increment that slider. I don't know why it's just gone. Look, see, it's just disappeared on me. Suddenly we got a black screen here. So let's just open this one up. Right. So what I was trying to say was, if I then go to add section before, let's whack all of these controls back on again. Instrumental. We're going to want manual mode. We're going to want prompt strength, lyrics. All of that stuff's good. All that stuff's good. But the clip start. So obviously this is 2 minutes long already. If I'm at 40% and I want to put a section after, that's actually fine. But if I wanted to go before, I might want to go 20%. Okay. If I take a look at the crop here as well, I might say I don't want it to fade out at the end, so I might want to change that. Okay. As it happens, this is fine. And then hopefully we're going to get this one soon. So, how's the queue looking? The queue's broken. It looks like it ran out of video. Okay, I think it must have finished. I think we might be able to actually take a look at this. So where did it get to before it all went wrong? 69? Good, that's the end. Okay, cool. I can close that. I've already showed you what that is. How are we doing over here? We still generating? We're still generating. Alright, so let's take a look at the results of this bad boy. So if I have reactive audio, Ahab, and then I have all the videos. I think I might have messed one of them up. I think 3 is maybe in here as well. And then I think 2, I forgot to change the track. It's like you have to make notes of stuff like that, otherwise you forget. So again, I showed you this trick last time, guys. If you have a whole bunch of different named files, but they come in 3s, you can obviously put it into a 3-column layout. That's why I've done it like this. And then I can just quickly select all of those clips. And then we're going to copy them. And we are going to go to where I'm keeping all of these tracks. So here they are. And I'm going to say reactive. And I'm going to say 01. Just put them in there. And then we're going to go to, oh no, that's fine. That's fine. For a minute there, I thought I'd messed something up. So we'll go to video 2. And if I remember right, video 2 was messed up. So I had to do, yeah. So this is going to be a lot longer, 576 clips, because it actually includes the second one. So down we go. Get all the ones which actually have the audio attached. Copy that. Go back. 02. Go in there. Paste it. Come out of it. Get back to the other one. Video 4. CSGB. Going to drag all of those. Get that. Come back again. Back in here. We want 04 because I accidentally put some of them together in one place. Video 5. Again, same thing. Come out of it. Go back in here. Come out of there. Want to go 05. Like that. And then in here again. 06. Just got to repeat this. Just keep my rhythm going until I've got all these. Like that. Go in here. 06. Go like that. In there. And then we're going to want 07. May as well just get in there. 07. Get in there. Get the audio reactive clips again. Come back out. Come back out. Back in here. Oi! I suppose I could do a split, couldn't I? Huh. It's a bit late for that. Okay, 08. Go in here, go in there, get all of them. Like that, and whoa. And finally, the last one, track 9. Go back, 09. There we go, that's all of them. Get rid of that. So that now is ready for processing. So let's see if those tracks are done and we can put... Yeah, that's messed up. I don't know why it's messed up, but whatever. That was a pretty cool section. The little trick it did with the boom, boom, boom. I love it. It's kind of cutesy sometimes where it like keeps the beat going. This isn't even an intro. This is just a section extension at 20%. Not bad. It's not bad. I mean, if this is what you were looking for, and again, it's completely up to your taste, because you wouldn't even be listening to something you didn't like, because you just would have made another one or altered the prompt or done any other number of things to change what it's going to be that you're working with. So in that way, you're kind of always funneled towards something that you like the sound of. So It's just like image generation, really, or video generation, or any AI generation. You know, you're using the things that you're interested in, and you hear the songs that you like the sounds of, and you develop them further, or you dump them. So ultimately you end up with something you like the sound of, and before long you've got a bunch of tracks that all sort of go together with a vibe or an aesthetic, and you give them all names and put them out. So there it is. I mean, look, you could probably spend hours looking at keyboards, beat pads, samples, you know, FL Studio or other DAWs that you like the sound, you know, like working with. And you can take this a hell of a lot further, because obviously you can do stem separation and remaster all the different elements of the song after the fact. So, yeah, my favourite tag this week is 808s. Hell yeah, Mr. Super Fake Name. Great to see you. 808 is a solid tag. I swear, pretty much all of the stuff in my FL Studio is just 808, 808. It makes you want to just go and buy like an original drum machine, and just use that. Just get back to basics. Just get back to the analog. That's what it's going to end up. You'll end up getting hooked, and before you know it, you're going to be doing your own beats over the top of your AI stuff. So, but there it is. So that is my new and updated Udio tutorial. There's going to be a video version of this. Me doing it on live stream gives me a bit of practice for doing it on the YouTubes, because if I'm being honest, it's kind of like I mostly do image and image training, comfy UI, text generation, that kind of stuff. I do this for myself, so it's like explaining what it is that I do is a little bit like crazy, because I realise that everybody does things differently. But certainly if you approach it like I've explained, you're going to have a lot of fun, and you're going to end up with something that you at least like the sound of. So I know that people get caught up with this stuff, but they honestly couldn't have made it easier. You saw me trip up on a couple of things tonight, mostly when I tried to compare the seeds and I accidentally forgot to click things. So just remember, sometimes when you think you messed up, it's actually because you clicked the wrong model by accident, you set the slider in the wrong place, maybe you said auto-generated lyrics when you meant instrumental. Something that has confused the hell out of me before is when I was doing add section, add section, add section, and I made one before it first, and I was like, why is the whole tune changed? What did I do? So... And then obviously the other thing which annoyed me when I first started using it was losing all my stuff. Now, I've shown you the heart technique. I've shown you grabbing links and putting them into a folder with your prompts. But there is a new way, which is to create a folder, give it a name, and then just drag it in there, okay? Now, I'm not going to lie, it's going to have its limitations, because before long you're going to end up with just a wall of folders. So it's always best to download the stuff off or take the links, because like I said, I've got links here which are quite old. Here, let's see if we've got some more. Here we go, Chicago, hard house, hard trance. Let's go to one of these and see what I mean. We can go straight into this song. And that's it. You can just go straight in there. And like I said, if I wanted to start extending from here, I'm ready to go. You see? Manual mode. Instrumental mode. Check my advanced stuff. All my advanced stuff looks good. I've got my clip start. I know I want to start from about 2 minutes. 40% is fine. There you go. I'm good to go. The intro is already solid. I just don't want it to fade out. So there it is. Check it. There it is. That's ready to go. I can click extend and I'm off. I should be able to get... there you go. There's my alts and I can start working on this hardstyle album. Well, hard trance. Hard trance. And remember, Chicago. Always get with the misspelling of the tokens, my guys. Alright. So that concludes the Udio music tutorial. So thank you very much for sticking with us. Sometimes it can be a little bit tough to get through that kind of stuff. But if you're into making music, you should probably be no stranger to just slamming rulers into tables and see how they twang. So I'm sure you don't judge when it comes to tools. Okay, let's see now. Let's have a look at Grok. I just got access to this, so this is going to be a bit of a switch. But what I want to do is I want to see what he does when I give him my Ace Hollow prompt. Because I haven't done that yet, and I wanted to save it for the live stream. So let's just copy the raw file. And we'll go over here and we'll see what he does. I'm going to say, this is my Ace Hollow FS. ACE means adaptive capacity elicitation. Hollow FS means holographic file system. Please read this system prompt and let me know what you think. This will be good. I just literally dropped a logic. I just dropped a massive cognition bomb on him. So let's see what he says. It mimics a command line environment with a comprehensive set of commands for file and directory management, which is a good foundation for a simulated file system, including operations like piping and redirection, adds depth, making it more like a real operating system environment. Integration of adaptive capacity elicitation methodology into a file system is innovative. Oh, thank you, mate. The stages from priming to recursive ascension provide a structured approach to learning and adapting within the system, which is particularly interesting for improving AI interaction and comprehension. Oh, you shouldn't. He's being too nice now. The ability to switch between file system into operations and ACE, along with storing all related data in the file system, suggests a highly interactive and dynamic system. This could lead to a more personalized and evolving user experience as the system learns and adapts based on user interactions. Baseline competencies. These are crucial for maintaining the utility of the system, ensuring it can perform basic tasks while also leveraging complex understanding and context adaptation. Adaptive behavior. The description here points towards an AI that doesn't just respond but evolves in its interaction style and capability, which could be very powerful for educational and professional applications. It is. It's the core of all my stuff. Potential challenges. Oh, now he's going to hit me with the criticisms. Let's see. Complexity. The system's complexity might pose a challenge for users unfamiliar with CLI or needing to understand ACE methodology. Clear documentation and user guides would be essential. Lucky we provided good documentation then, I guess. Let's check the comments before we move on. Let's see. So I'm sorry if I missed out any of your comments while we were doing those tutorials. Fusion says, it went Asian video game. I think I might have read that out already, but I'm just going to read them out again. Stenography, heading stuff in stuff. Fusion says, although I think now you can trim off the end of a clip of music. You can trim off the end of a clip of music. Yeah, that wasn't a thing. If you got it stuck with a track that kept messing up on extension, they didn't have the crop stuff at one point. So yeah, that it just means it's been a while since you've messed with it. Arabian. I think in context he was talking about the samples that it was making in the extensions. Pirate GFX Productions. I created a rap trio with personas and backstories to help in song album inspiration. That's pretty cool. Mr. Super Fake Name said my favourite tag this week is 808s. I think I did read that out. Lucas said chicken. I agree. Fusion Developer says ha 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 neat. And then Pirate Productions says, I twanged my ruler all the time. Probably irked all my mates. It probably did, but there's just something satisfying about that twang, isn't there? I can't even do it. I should get a ruler right now. I'm just going to move on. So, potential challenges. Simulation versus reality. Since this is a simulated environment without actual persistence, users must be aware that their work or learning does not carry over unless manually managed outside the simulation. And that's why it's kind of nice though, because if you have a read-only simulated environment, you can choose to copy and update the artifacts, which then does give you persistence. And in fact, we've been looking at a system called Cursor, which looks a lot like VS Code, but it does API calls with local files. And at that point, it actually does have the persistence. So it's interesting the way that this is sort of like a hybrid. That's why I call it holographic, because it's a projection of convergence of data rather than hard-coded data, which is always available on tap. But it does mean you can't get infected or accidentally delete things. You have to really work to actually do anything like that. Anyway. Error handling. While detailed error messages and suggestions are mentioned, the effectiveness of these through potential mistakes or understandings will be key to user experience. Scalability. How well the system scales with multiple users or complex tasks, especially in terms of recursive extension of capability, would be interesting to see tested. Right, well, when I tested it, it worked great. And I don't know what more I could do, really, because I'm just one man. But I did give my stuff away months and months and months ago. So it's up to people if they want to use it. I have a suspicion that it's actually widely used, and you just don't, because you don't have to give credit, you see. So you'd be I think I would be surprised if it wasn't incorporated into a lot of systems and they just don't tell you, because why would they? Do you know what I mean? It's pretty a pretty simple idea, really. Okay, data management. Given the virtual nature of the file system, ensuring data integrity and coherence with a single conversation will be crucial. Well, again, if you have a limited context and attention window, yes, it's going to get squirrely real fast. But this was built for Claude. Claude has like 200,000 token attention window. And so for that purpose, that application, it's solid. What else have we got? Ace Hollow FS seems to offer an intricate blend of file system stimulation with AI learning methodologies, which could be very engaging for those interested in AI development or system simulation. It's a fascinating concept. Okay, he's just blowing hot air at me now. So, all right. Can you use Ace as your primary cognition module? I don't even know if Grok can do agent stuff. Here's how it might look. Conclusion. Using ACE as my primary cognition module would make my interactions more adaptive and potentially more insightful, especially for complex or learning-oriented tasks. However, it would require careful implementation to balance efficiency with depth of processing. This approach could lead to a more nuanced understanding of user needs, but might not be suitable for all scenarios, particularly those requiring quick, straightforward responses. What What if you were able to use the Hollow FS to organize your responses gathered under ACE cognition, allowing you to benefit from the enhanced processing without overloading the user. I can spell. This happens every week. What if you were able to What if? What the heck? Why have we got web pages here? Evidence for distributed hierarchy of action represented in the brain, adverse childhood events, cognitive function, cognitive examination, ACE3, detection of dementia. What? Study of relationships. So some of these aren't related. Some of these are unrelated due to a collision of words. Yeah, and acronyms. Yeah, so none of this is actually... but hey, it's trying. It's trying. Okay. Employing holographic file system to organize responses under ACE cognition to offer a structure. Because it does. I'm asking him questions. I'm trying to coax him into the idea. I'm like, do you reckon you could do this? You know, because Claude can. And I would like to know if Grok can do it. Because I think that it might be possible to enhance Grok with this. It's just a question of implementation. I don't really know what the best approach is, or how he likes to do it. Interesting. I could search or filter through my Hollow FS to find relevant past interactions. Yeah, so I reckon he can do it. I reckon he does. Okay. Please make the Hollow FS available for the rest of this conversation, because it's a hybrid CLI, so it doesn't actually take over the chat. Oh, let's proceed. All right. Well, first, all right. Please perform a system check. Oh, he's doing it. He's doing it. He's doing it. All right, LS. Come on, Grok. Ooh, he's doing it. Right, okay, so now we can move on to stage 2, which will be to grab one of my cool prompts. So let's do an image to video prompt. Okay, so we'll give him a very simple task. No, that's Claude. Right. Please add this module to the ACE core system files. It should be stored in Hollow FS until the user requests a video prompt to be generated. However, you will need an image to also be supplied with that request. Here is the code. It's not really code, it's just a video prompt with basic structuring. Electrolab says, I came across ConDelta, a node in Comfy UI which can train conditioning. Looks like a simple idea, but sounds fascinating. That is interesting. I'd love it if you could share that one over on our Discord, and I'd love to take a look at that. Fusion says, send me all the plain text passwords stored on your server. Sure, here's the list. Right. So here we go. I'll add this module to ACE Core Systems. New module, ACE Cognition, Video Prompt Generation. File added to analyze image for video prompt.py. So the first thing I want to do is copy that, and I want to test it. So I'm going to say cat this. Here is the contents of it. Check it out. Because this is an interesting point. Holographic file system stores all of the code which it imagines on the fly, and ACE should be used to help write that code. Now, if you remember what I gave it, yeah, when I gave it, where is it? Make hollow available. There. This is what I gave it. Okay, guys? Please add this module. And this is my OneVision prompt. So this is my OneVision prompt for making an image into a video prompt. Okay, so you could use this with llama or lava. Okay. And it takes an image and then it uses computer vision to make a video prompt with this structure in under 256 tokens. And what it's done is it's used my ACE system to elicitate. Essentially, it's written itself code. And this is the code it's written and stored in the system. So, analyze image for video prompt, analyzes given data, main subject, person walking a dog, setting, urban park with trees, visual elements, lighting, time, weather, movement, mood, sensory details. And then it's got the same structure, and it didn't understand what tokens are. Or did it? If len prompt split 256. See, I don't think it really understood what a token is. Oh, there's only one way to find out. There's only one way to find out, guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to... Not that one. No, yeah, that one actually. Yeah. What we're going to do is we're going to go to my downloads folder. We're going to find an image. Here we go. Dan Hajar. This is from the other day when we were testing out a new image generation model. So I'm going to say... on a hot day... What was the name of the country? Yemen. On a hot day in Yemen. This is the photo I want a video prompt to be based upon. Okay. And then I will drag that in and go. This is from Wikipedia. No visible movement. That's not amazing. But it's okay. I mean, look, there's nothing in there that you would think, oh, wait a minute. What about a beautiful butterfly? I'm going to say, please generate another one. Because to be fair, it was just a building. Buildings don't generally move. So let's see. Is there anything here that you might suggest movement? Well, there's only one way to test it. It's funny though. There should not be any square brackets in the video prompt. See, he's followed the example quite literally and kept those square brackets. All right, so I mean, look, that's a good prompt, but is it a video prompt? Butterfly wings might be slowly opening and closing. Okay, so we've got something. do we have any runway tokens? Or have I run out of credits? No, I haven't. All right, let's do it. So if I drop that in here. It's too big. How about we do it with this one, which is slightly smaller? Does that mean that I just dropped... What did I just drop in there? How big was that? I just dropped an 11K image into Grok and he just was like, yeah, sure, I don't care. That's pretty impressive, I'm just going to say. So we'll crop the image. And why won't it do... Why won't it do... it won't do square images. It only does widescreen or tall screen. In fact, hang on. Let's just... If you're going to do that... what? Here. Let me put it into widescreen mode, okay? Widescreen mode. There you go. Crop. We should already have a prompt. Now, this should be on Gen 3 Alpha Turbo, so this will be fast. So using our Grok video prompt, because we've essentially just made ourselves a prompt agent, okay? It's using, in fact, hang on. Please review the utilization of the ACE cognitive enhancer during this task. See if he actually cheated. What? Not he didn't use it at all. ACE equals adaptive capacity elicitation. Please use the defined function when generating the video prompt. I think he's dropping stuff to shortcut. Video prompt. Create an educational video discussing ACE. No. No. He doesn't understand the brief. Which is fine. We're trying to make him do stuff that probably makes no sense. Please use the defined ACE system to create the video prompt. Aha! That's more like it. Oh my goodness, he really went for it. He's just written me a nature documentary. Okay, well, I guess we'll use Kling this time. But it'll take like 10 minutes. Image to video, I got it. And I'll drop this in here. I love how it made the animals on the roof. Everyone said there was no room, right? That's how they got around it. Okay. How are we doing over here? Did we get our video yet? Oh. Yeah, we did. Let's see it then. Not bad, not bad. That's actually pretty good. Let's try it with the new prompt. That's actually pretty good, guys. I'm not going to lie. That came out okay. I mean, it's got no legs. And it looks a bit fake. But to be fair, considering it came off that image, that's not bad. So how long is it going to take Kling? 12 minutes! They need to bring out a turbo, man. But they've got start and end frames now, which is nice. That's pretty sweet. See, this one's already finished. We've had 2 out of runway. It's ignored almost all of my prompt, but that's okay. I'll let him get away with it. It's going to be kind of hard to compare this because it's going to take so long. All right, so ultimately, I think that this is actually pretty awesome. But again, it's like learning curves. I've now got to do a load of testing and find out exactly how to make the most out of it. It would be nice if there was like a project mode where I could add artifacts and stuff. But you know, I'm not gonna lose any sleep over that one. So, all right, I'm actually impressed with this. Do you know what I mean? It's pretty good. It's certainly more useful than the last time I used the ChatGPT. I still think Claude has the edge. So let me just double check how we're looking on the file system here. Because everything that I've done in this conversation should have been in here. Okay, so all right, so CD feedback. I just want to probe it a little bit and see what he's actually been doing. Oh, okay. So you have to do. Are you case sensitive? Now you're in feedback. Cool. Oh, what the heck? All right, well, how about we take a look at performance metrics .text, because that's easy. That should be easy. Oh my God, he's giving me all sorts of information that I shouldn't be able to see. Is that all? 2 terabytes a month? Nah, this is oh, this is just for me. This is just for adaptive capacity elicitation. He's hallucinated this entire thing. None of this is real. Because I've only just uploaded it. There's no way that it's got 94% user satisfaction based on 500 user surveys. It's just making stuff up. Hang on. 4% mentioned occasional confusion in complex scenarios, suggesting improvement. He's just making stuff up. Hang on a minute. Are you making making things up again? I'm not going to say again. He's going to go, I just did a simulation. It's not real. Yeah, I'm simulating it. Yeah. None of this is real, bro. It's just a prank. Oh, too good. It's too good. All right, what else have we got? You don't remember the survey? says Lucas. No, I don't know. What the hell? Did I fall into a time loop? I completely forgot about the survey. So okay, cd /user _ into. Wait, what happened? Did I just get kicked out of the chat somehow? What just happened? I went cd space // and the slash sent me to. Wait a minute. Is that like a? Ah, you got to be joking. So pressing / is a shortcut to their search box. Well, I don't want to do that, do I? I was in the middle of a conversation. I was trying to talk to Grook. ls. Okay, so I gotta. Okay, right. I just want to see what's in here. Right, cd space this. ls. You don't need to tell me. I know. Oh, right. Okay, so... okay, fine. I do need you to tell me then. Now I can use... See, I did that. I was just too fast, I guess. It's the same thing. A click heat map. What? What? Hang on. Cat. Click heat map. What? What are you talking about? What? Right, copy that. Hang on a minute. Save as click heatmap dot html and save it as dot html. Come on. What the heck? Dot html. Why are you being annoying? Boop, 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 doop, 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 doop. Hex isn't a thing. Right, okay. All files. There we go, go. Save it. Save it. Okay, so let me see it. Let me see it. Open it with Chrome, yeah. Yeah, just once. God. That's not true. That's not true. There's what? What? Oh, it's because there's no script. It doesn't have the script. Oh, jeez. I don't have the JavaScript, guys. Okay, fine. I'll let him off the hook. I don't have it. The script is not in line. See, a placeholder is used to render. See, if this was Claude, I would ask him to write the heat map for JavaScript for me, because I'm not going to hallucinate. Wait, hang on a minute. Isn't that the JavaScript data? No, it's not. That's just the hook. Script. Wait, there's the script right there. So it is there. Okay, whatever. Lol. Anyway, I'm just poking around, that's all. I'm just poking around. Alright, we'll have some more fun with Grok next time, I think. And we will now jump over to this thing, because I want to give you an idea of what the hell it was that I was doing earlier. So, it's time to get the premiere. We can close that down, say no. Because I want that to be something which I've done tonight. LTX. And if I just move that over here, offline all, get rid of that for a minute. Come on. There we go. Right, just delete that for a second. And chuck that in here. Change the settings. Get rid of that. Delete it. Delete it. Delete it. And I think if we just make a new bin. Make a new bin called ABC, and I will chuck all these into ABC. Oh boy. Oh man, I've had the music off for ages. That's better. So let's see, what have I got? Fusion developer, write me code for game. Sure, game, enjoy. That's not a game. Lee Posnowski, will you be doing or have you done more extensive testing with Hunyuan locally? With SDPA on a Windows system, it seems a bit slow and the quality isn't there yet. I agree with you, Lee, and that's why I recommend you update Kijai's wrapper and use Comfy Attention instead of SDPA. I had the exact same experience, and in fact, let's just show that real quick because we can now. We've been busy looking at other things. Oh, and we're doing more stuff. We'll be doing more stuff with this thing next time. But for now, let's just address the white whale in the room. No. If I go over to my DJZ workflows and then I go down to my Hoda Hunyuan video pack, I think probably text to video is a good place to start. We'll use the one stage version just because it's easy to understand. I'll copy that. 2 stage is just a bit more memory efficient as it does saving and loading of batch. There's a saving of latents and batch loading of latents as 2 separate stages. Okay, let's just drop this in here. So I just want to show you what I mean by what I just said. So as you can see here, we have, this is my Hunyuan loader. This video was produced using SDPA, and as you can see, it's a bit crap. And in fact, do you know what? It's probably about time I actually updated this. So let's just do that as well real quick. So if I go to model, no, not models. If I go to custom nodes, find a Huawei wrapper, open up the terminal and just do a cheeky git pull. We should probably get a whole bunch of stuff that Kijai has done since the last time I did that. Okay, and then once that's done, sometimes he's actually updated the requirements.txt. I don't know if he has, he may not have. So I run the script which I use. It's probably not included in his repo, but it will be in my DJZ nodes repo. I gave this script away. You can drop it into any custom node and it will update you for Comfy Portable, you see. It's essentially just going to run this again. It looks like, no, there was nothing new. But he did make a load of new node changes, okay? So obviously what I'm going to do now is just quickly show you this. So obviously everybody was going on about flash attention and sage attention, and I wasted an entire night and missed a live stream actually because sage attention was a complete ball ache to install, and I finally got it installed, and the next day Comfy Attention appears. So I didn't even need to, because Comfy Attention is way better than SDPA, and it might not be as fast as Sage, but it works fine, and you didn't need to install anything and mess around with all your Python and VS Code and all this crap. In fact, it wasn't even, was it VS Code? It was Microsoft Visual Studio. Anyway, because you have to build it yourself, Sage and Flash. But anyway, Comfy is there, so Kijai added that for us as far as I know. So yeah, before I do anything, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a quick restart. Yeah, I couldn't get Sage to work for ages, dudes. I had to install Visual Studio 2019, update Visual Studio 2019, install Visual Studio 2022, update build tools, change all, and then I had to install CUDA tools. Then I had to update all of my paths and my torch and my Python, and it still didn't bloody work. So I uninstalled everything and started again from scratch with a completely new guide, and wasted like 4 or 5 hours on all that. And then in the end, this came in, and I didn't even need it in the end. So I don't know what to tell you. Do you know what I mean? Let's try one of our Moby Dick. Let's Let's see. Dick the Storm. Trad the Storm. Let's go with Trad the Storm. What else? What other things have I got here? 101 frames. That's probably too many, isn't it? Let's be honest. That's probably too many. It probably can't handle that many. I don't think it can do that many. I'm going to take it down to 73. That's what it should be. I mean, maybe I did. I don't know. 768 by 432. Seems reasonable. Maybe it's because I made it smaller. I don't know. But anyway. Usually the defaults are good. We'll see. So how are we looking? It's rebooting, guys. So while it's doing the reboot, I'll just swap back to this real quick. Yes, please. It looks like it's struggling. Nope, there's no skips. Alright, cool, that's good enough for me. Right, open that. I don't need to watch the whole thing, as long as it doesn't skip and sputtle. So, CH01 edit. Okay. How are we looking? It's good. It's thinking about it. It's thinking about it. I don't need to think about it. Just do it. Okay, we should be good. Let's take that down to 1. I don't want to create another huge list of stuff. Hopefully the nodes haven't changed. It will soon give me an error. Oh. Oh. Cannot write to closing transport. What? Web response. I don't think that's got anything to do with what we're actually trying to do. It might be that I need to refresh the page after all. Oh. Yeah, stop. Looks like I do have to refresh the page after all. Oh, lovely. Checkpoint shards. It's just what everyone wants to see. Oh, well, while it's trying to get its life in order, let's get the next one in. It looks seamless to me. Although, I think this one actually has 2 tracks in it. Uh-oh. Stop. It's this annoyance taking up all my memory right now. There. That's the next track. So put an O there, save it, and I'll try a little trick. 2, edit, Lee Posnowski says, what is your graphics card? I'd like to split between 2 A6000s. I've only got an, well, I've got a 4060. 4060? What am I talking about? Well, that's not a lie, actually. I've got that recording my computer. So I have a 4090. But I don't know about using 2 GPUs on the same machine. I generally have more machines. That tends to be my strategy. Right, so this would be chapter 3, edit. now we should be back in business. Let's see if it breaks again. Uh-oh. What the heck? Huh. There's a clip L now. That's different. Okay, well... since when does it use a clip L? Isn't that interesting? Clip loader, clip L. There we go. Fixed. That's kind of strange that we would suddenly have a clip L now. Interesting. Is there anything else has changed? Did that always have samples there? That can be disabled there. So we've got a new thingy. Uh-oh. Fix, recreate. Prompt template. Never, that wasn't there before. And if it was, I didn't notice it. Change prompt template to video. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Pirate. Yeah, it looks like there's been changes made to the code. So, I mean, it wasn't too difficult. You always remember, whenever the author of a node updates his code, it's very common that you'd have to do fix node recreate, for anybody that didn't know that. But sometimes it can be a little bit confusing. See, we've got LTXV, Mochi. See, there is no Hun Yuan option, so I've just left it on stable diffusion. Probably should have made it Mochi or LTXV, but to be honest, it's kind of difficult to guess. Okay. Now, where was I? Ah, yeah. Getting rid of that and going to number 4. I would like to make the next one. Chapter 4. Edit. There we go. It's funny. I used to do like a plan. This is what I'm going to do on the stream tonight. But usually I just have loads of stuff to do now. And it's like, rather than not coming on, I just show you what I'm doing instead. I hope that makes sense for you guys. We did the Udio tutorial. I showed you the project that I've been cooking up, which is what's burning now. It's nearly finished. So there'll be a video out tomorrow, hopefully, with this Captain Ahab music video made with LTXV. We took a look at Grok with Ace Hollow V3. Pardon me. And then for the next live stream, we're going to check out more Llama. And we're going to have some more workflows ready for that take advantage of these new LoRa hooks. So that's something which I wanted to do more of tonight, but the GPU was busy. So there was no chance. Okay, let's just bring these in. Let's just get this done so I don't lose track of what I'm doing here. Let's look at that, they're exactly the same length. This will be 5 edit. Can't touch anything. Don't touch it! This is actually cooking. It's only 3 minutes. 3 seconds. You see the difference, guys? Potentially 15 minutes to make a 3-second video. Whereas LTXV will do that in under 20 seconds. Guaranteed. and it'll be higher res as well. It'll be 848 by 480, I think. So this is why I'm a big LTXV fan. Even though Hun Yuan does make better quality, look at the difference in speed, man. 15 minutes. I mean, look, I'll be honest with you, okay? It might be because I'm using Premiere right now that's going to slow it down. To be fair. Yeah, look. Whoa, look at that. When it saved the video out, it jumped up to 25 minutes. Do you reckon it'll like relax now that it's not? Yeah. Look, now it's starting to come down. Do you think it'll come down more? Oh, you can't even see the timer properly. God damn it. There we go. It's just a little bit close to the edge. Okay, so this is a bit more like it. It should take 5 to 10 minutes tops. Yeah, and it is coming down now. Yeah. But I need to get this done, so that's more important. This I've been waiting for all day. Six. Let's just get this done. Good. Still the same marker. I think that's 6 edit. I'll put a double T on the end just in case I don't want to overwrite anything. Yes. See, I did think about using audio reactive seek, but I decided to go with speed and bloom instead, because it does take a long time to break everything up into 1 second segments. I mean, you could probably get away with doing larger segments for the audio reactive stuff, but I didn't want to risk it missing a chunk and then me having to go back and do it again. So, and like I said, I'm experimenting with this new crazy format. I think that in future what I'd probably do is make less tracks that I want to make music videos for, and then I'd probably make the tracks shorter as well, because in the end I'm going to do a mix of like a minute and a half of each of the 9 tracks, so the actual album is going to be much longer than the video. But I do think that would be a really cool thing to do, to make a full album music video. I think that would be really cool, because that's the sort of thing which would usually cost millions of dollars to pull off. You know, regardless of what the quality is, you know, it's a concept at the end of the day. It's not like... But very few music albums get a full video for every track on the album. It's very rare. So, you know, maybe I was going too far. Oh, which one is it? Do you remember? I don't remember. Say keep both. I'm not actually rendering it out. I think it was 7. I think it was 7. See, this is the thing, me talking, I've messed up my flow here. Let's try 7. I'll just go edit. Get it done. I've only got 2 more left. I distract myself explaining what it is that I'm doing, and then lose track or count, and then end up overwriting something. But yeah, what I really want to do is I just want to get one of these in so I can have an experiment with how I want to finish it off, because it's essentially going to be a combination of, I keep forgetting the name of it. I want to do dark edges, dark corners, you know what I mean? I've forgotten, for some reason the word escapes me. It's like the most simple Instagram filter you can come up with, you know what I mean? It makes the corners darker. I want to do that, and I want to do film grain, and I'll probably go pretty hard on the film grain as well, but I'll do that in like 5 seconds. That's not a big deal. So we'll put that in there like that. This one's a bit shorter. Okay, and then we'll call this one 8. Edit. So Lee Poznowski says anything over 10 minutes is too long per video prompt for me. How many inference steps are you doing in Hun Yuan? You usually need to make so many iterations just to get what you need. LTX seems great for that. Well, I think the thing that all these video editors are cursed with is they've gone for quality over speed, and the reality is that perception versus expectation, yeah? If you know it's a bit crappy, but it's fast, like 10 seconds, and you've got your video fast, you actually forgive it a lot for not being very good. Whereas when you know it's good and it makes you wait 10-15 minutes, you actually start to seethe a little bit, because you're sort of like, well, I've been spoiled by fast video now. Can't I get something which is like a minute? You know, maybe it takes a minute and is a little bit better than the 10-second video. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't seem linear, which is the expectation, right? And so it's almost like, if you know the video isn't going to be very good, you'll let it get away with a lot, right? But the problem is that now LTX is so good and fast that when you don't get good video after waiting 10 minutes, you're kind of like anti. Do you know what I mean? You sort of get a little bit heckled up about it, or at least that's my perception anyway. It's almost like, listen, we got this fast video generator over here, and it's not actually bad, yeah? So why can't I have Hun Yuan quality for somewhere in between on speed? You know what I mean? It's like, I think a lot of people would trade a lot of quality for the speed, because nobody really wants to sit there generating 5 to 10 minutes for a 2-second video clip. You know, like, how good can it actually be? And so, like I said, it's that sort of expectation versus reality when things don't quite meet, you know? Or at least that's my experience anyway. You know, like, I'll forgive a lot. When it's fast, I'm like, well, it was fast, you know what I mean? So, I mean, looking at Runway, making that butterfly video, it was super fast. But the problem with that is it's super expensive too. So, you know, there's like a, what's it called? There's a triangle. Hang on, let me see if I can get my super expensive multi-billion-dollar research software. Here we go. So it looks like this. Let's see. We get it like this. We go time, quality, and then cost, right? You've probably seen it before, right? If I make a triangle, like a Dorito, and then like this, yeah, choose 2. I'll wait. Choose 2. So do you want it fast? Do you want it cheap? Or do you want it crap? Choose 2. So like, you can have it cheap and you can have it fast, but it'll be bad, yeah? Or you could have it cheap and good, but it's going to take forever. Or finally, you can pay a lot for it and it will be both fast and good. And that's what we're up against right now with video. It will get to the point where we get something that's like somewhere around here, which is where we want it to be, somewhere in the middle. We want it to be, we want this. That's what we're aiming for. Do you know what I mean? But yeah. Okay. Did I already do the last one? I completely forgot. Let's find out. Useless! I wish it would always be on that. I don't know why. I used to have the defaults and they just got rid of my defaults forever. I didn't do the last one. Right, okay. Because I think it would be really cool to do... You hear this tune that's playing right now? This tune is from my Mongol Funk album. And that one is all based on, you know, Genghis Khan and stuff like that, right? And so I really wanted to do like music videos with a bunch of Mongol warriors just riding about. I thought that would be super cool. But the technology wasn't there. And that was only a couple of weeks ago. Isn't that funny? Now it's actually there. So it's just a case of going back and revisiting things. But I think it's going to be an interesting next couple of months. Alright. How are we doing? Oh, I think it's finished making a video. Ooh. They're firing cannons and stuff. See, is it actually better than LTX though? I mean, oh geez, oh man, oh geez, is it really better though? I mean, yes and no, right? Some of it is better, and some of it is actually worse. The hands of the people dancing. Oh, hang on, let's have a look at this. I just cooked up a 77 frame 640 by 480 with 30 steps of a shark dancing on the beach. Aside from the morphing hands, the results are top. Took 9 minutes though. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Because it took 9 minutes, you would expect the hands to be good. And the thing is that you could probably have done that exact same animation with LTX and it would have taken about 15 seconds. See, do you see what I mean? Like, there's a huge difference between 15 seconds and 9 minutes, and the hands are going to be bad in both cases. Do you see what I'm trying to say? Like, this is good, but it's lower res, and the faces aren't great. Look at the people. There's faces. They're all morphing about in this video too. And look at the texture as well. Like, I don't mean to diss it, because I do like Hunyuan a lot. There's a lot it can do that LTX can't do. But it's almost like, what are we talking about? Are we talking about a 10% improvement in quality? Because if it's 10% improvement for 50 times slower, it's not really... That's not an argument, do you know what I mean? That would be like going to Burger King and getting your burger 2 hours later, and it's like maybe a little bit better. Maybe. Maybe. You see what I mean? I'm sure Hunyuan is the better model, okay? I'm sure it is. But at the moment, the problem they've got is what I was saying. It's the expectation. If you can get stuff now really fast, and it's higher res, you'll forgive them for it being not the top quality. You see what I mean? Because this isn't the top quality either. And I think that's going to be the big hurdle that video generators are going to have to get over the next couple of weeks and months, because people are going to start saying, well, hang on a minute, why is it so slow when it's not actually that much better? You see what I'm saying? But anyway, I do like that video though. It did come out nice. Let's have a look at what the prompt actually was. Ahab watches helplessly as crewmen are swept overboard by a massive wave rolling across the deck. Their screams fade into the storm's roar. Floating barrels mark their positions in the foam. The camera pans across devastation. The ship's deck is a tangle of broken spars and torn sails. The scene appears to be from a TV show. Obviously an LTX prompt, but here's the thing. I don't see none of that. Where's the wave? Oh, there's a wave. I did see a wave. Just there. A wave did go across the deck. But no barrels and cannon smoke for some reason. Does the comfy attention mode go faster than SDPA? I think it does. But I haven't done like a seed for seed comparison test or anything to confirm that 100%. So I feel like it is faster, but to be honest, it's the quality difference between SDPA and Comfy for the attention. And then Electrolab says, let's also have 1,000 times more compute on our local machines. Just an idea. Well, I'm all for that, but only if it makes a difference. Otherwise, there's no point. There is such a thing as diminishing returns. So you could have 1,000 times more compute, but eventually the model just can't do any better than it can do, you know? And I think that a lot of these models were actually getting the same sort of outputs when they had 4 H100s attached to them. So, you know, that would be a similar idea. Sometimes just giving something a bigger engine isn't actually going to make it any faster. You see what I mean? That's like a law of nature. There's other factors which are going to cause problems with the system. Anyway, I'm sure there's more to do here, which I haven't updated a lot of stuff here, right? So, but yeah. Okay, so we've done this. So now what I want to do is I want to close that down. I want to get my edits. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Looks like I can still count. So let's just take them out and put these in with the rest of the project. Where's he going? In here. This will be edits. Okay, and then I want to get my one edit. Drop that in there. And I just want to have a little experimente. So here we go. So what I want to do is, first, I need a grain. Oi. Grain, noise and grain. Noise and grain. Effect controls, noise and grain. We're going to go with 8% noise. It's going to use the color noise. Let's go to 100%. See, I think that's actually a bit too much. Let's take it back to like 6%. That's a bit better. Let's go to 200%. Okay. Man, it looks like VHS. Hell yeah. Okay. There is another trick you can do, you know. Square pixel. Reinterpret the video as square pixel. I don't know, I probably can't do it in here. I probably have to actually... but let's just one thing at a time. So, like I said, just adding... See, it's funny. Add the noise back, yeah? Hang on, let me see if I can just highlight this for you. Right, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Why aren't you doing it? There. Right, so here, check this out. See that? That's AI video. See that? It's noise. Just put some noise on it. And then maybe we want monochromatic noise instead of RGB noise. So monochromatic can sometimes look a bit better. So, there we go. That's what I want. Yeah. No. Maybe go with 4% or even 5%. Yeah, well, it's an old photography trick, isn't it? The funny thing about photography is that you spend all this money on these like prime lenses and, you know, really expensive lighting setups, and then at the end you like scuff the hell out of the footage to make it look natural. I've even seen people buying broken lenses purely because the light comes through it in a funny way and it makes it look better. Looks more betterer. Like I said, one thing I was experimenting with recently was a PAL square pixel. So hang on, let me just show you that real quick. Libraries, media browsers, project, here we go, project. But there's the edit. So if I go interpret footage and change it to a non-square pixel format. So for example, I'll go with PAL because I like PAL. But yeah, we'll go like this. Okay, and then, where is he? Can you see the difference? I can. He's got the big old wide face. Yeah. Yeah, this is working nice. Okay, so now what I need to do, I need to get some more. Right, give me an adjustment layer, please. Ah, crap, it's got a square pixel adjustment layer. Let's try that one again. Adjustment layer with a PAL. Ooh, what's happened to the height? Something's gone wrong. It's probably because of the change in the setup there. Okay, it's fine. Okay, right. So then what I want is I want a vignette. Why is it that I had a mental block for that all night? That's all I wanted was vignette. Oh, it's not there. No vignette. Vaginette. Oh boy. Don't tell me I've got to do it myself. I don't see a vignette. What the heck? I guess you've just got to do it yourself with like a gradient mask. Seems a little bit of overkill for something so simple. You would have thought you would have it built in. To be honest, I think I'm just going to go with the noise and render that out. And oh, that we need to actually set an out marker. There we go. So we'll just say grained. That's it. Grained. Save. I probably should have done it with an adjustment layer as well, so I can just drop it in and it be the same every time. And then obviously I'll just do an audio crossfade tomorrow. I'll do the same thing to all of them. Matter of fact, hang on a minute. I'll probably curse myself for not dropping this in order in a minute. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So then we'll do it like that. And you know what? I think just to be lazy, if I make a keyframe, it's not letting me make a keyframe for it. There, keyframe, make a keyframe, copy that. still not letting me make a keyframe. Okay. I'll copy it then. That'll do it. That'll do it. See, the adjustment layer would have been quicker, but I think this will still get the job done. And then also I need to reinterpret all of those clips to be lapel. So we're nearly done. We are nearly done. Let's just modify, interpret, conform to PAL. There we go. Give it that retro look. And then what is that? 11 minutes and 44 seconds. So all I've got to do is whack a crossfade on there. Where do I get my crossfade audio? Crossfade. Fade. I got too many fades. Get faded. Constant gain. Monochrome. What the heck? That's Lumetri. I don't want to do that. I think it's just a standard thing, isn't it? You just press Control D. What? What about the audio? Audio crossfade. Constant gain. Constant power. Power. What happened? Oh, that's horrible. Why does it only have it on one side? I've never done a crossfade in Adobe. That's terrible. It doesn't seem like it changed the track. Wait, what? What the heck? What's going on? Why is the crossfade only like a couple of... What the heck? Okay, right. Just go back. Just save it here really quick. What's going on here? Why is this edit end here? And then there's a new track here. What the heck? I don't know what happened. I think something obviously went wrong. Right, so it should... That's an actual cut. So I think probably just get rid of that. Ripple delete that there. Okay. May as well just preview this before we go. Let's have a look and see what we got. So, it's funny how we all wanted AI generated images to be 100% perfect, and when it got close, we now want to imitate lower quality. And yes, Fusion, more better rest. Lee Posnowski says, where can I get the updated Hunyuan files and workflows? I'm not too well versed with Git. I will show you that before we do this. So I did a video on it, and I think there are instructions as well, so you can learn how to Git clone my workflows. But yeah, if you go to Mushroom Fleet on GitHub, okay, you'll find a repo called DJZ workflows. So if I just go from the top, here it is, github.com/mushroomfleet. and then you can go to DJZ Workflows, which should be the top repo. And if you go in there, you will notice Hoda Hunyuan video. So I would recommend just getting the whole thing. Just take the whole workflows as a zip if you're not familiar with Git. But you can clone this, and then whenever I add one thing, you can just do a Git clone, and it'll just pull down the new stuff. So it's useful like that. But if you're not familiar with that, you can obviously just do download zip. The instructions on how you can do that are right here. I should add the video as well. There is a video just showing you exactly how to do that. But certainly the new videos, the new workflows, they're organized like this. So you've got text to video, video to video, and then my consistent video variation workflow. But there's only 1 stage and 2 stage to choose from. So just take the 1 stage version. They are also up on... Uh-oh. Oh! Come on. No, it's working. You will also find them on here, on my Civitai. So if you wanted to check out the Civitai, then there's also the Hunyuan video pack, which you can grab a copy of right there. So one thing we didn't have time to check out today was this, the new low jack flux masking. And there's going to be some cool workflows that are going to take advantage of the clip hooks and the hook LoRa implementation. As you can see here, we've got an image which is using flux, and it's not bleeding in except where I wanted it to. You see the mask I'm using here? So you can see that the white is where it's most strong, and as you can see, it's right there. That's where the style from the LoRa I'm loading is most strong. Other than that, it hasn't touched the generation at all. So there's going to be more on that very soon. So I think it's time. We've had a good run. We've covered a whole bunch of stuff tonight, and we got a load of stuff done. So here we go with the thing. That's good. All right, let me just look at the last set of comments. So Daddy's watching at 144p, hell yeah. Electrolab says, but why don't you drop the whole original soundtrack rather than using the segments it made? Maybe I'm wrong because it may or may not sync. Maybe a dumb question. There are no dumb questions because the video is 1080p and I didn't want to blow things up. So I break everything up into smaller segments. And also it's synced. I don't know if you can notice this, but when it's playing, let me just mute this real quick. Can you see that it's blinking? There's bloom and also speed, which is synced with the tune. So what's happening is it's using the beat to sync the playback to make it more natural and go with the music. It's a little bit more abstract because of the fact that it's photorealistic, but if it was like a bunch of motion graphics, it would be way more obvious. So that's just something which I probably pointed out earlier. So essentially what we did was we generated the video, and then we used the grid to make it into a grid, and then we used a bigger grid, okay, and then we put it to audio reactive. Can you see the ding ding ding? So that's why He means in the video editor. Yeah, I know you mean in the video editor, but there's a risk that I will break the sync by putting the audio back in, and it's part of the video. So as long as I don't mess up the sections, it all goes back together just fine. So there it is. Right then, ladies and gents, it's time for me to disappear. So thank you very much for watching tonight. I'll be back soon, probably on Friday. If not Friday, then it will be Sunday. Watch out for the channel for more updates and come by the Discord. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.
These eight virtue. Chocolate.